it's not very easy to get a Bhagavad Gita book. You should get a Bhagavad Gita book. But it's not very easy for you to understand just by reading. Right? Shastras should be read with the help of devotees. Right? We take help of our teachers, we take help of our friends to grow in that. Similarly, when it comes to Shastras, we need to take help of Guru, who has seen the truth. So it's very important. So before we start the session, we will start with Mangalacharan prayers. These prayers are very auspicious. Before we start anything auspicious, we should always recite these prayers. So you can actually recite it after me. Om Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nam Vishnupadhaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Please come forward. We'll have some more people join us. It will be very difficult for them. There's a lot of space. Please do come forward. Please do come forward. I'm not going to ask you any questions and put you on spot. Right? Right, this is the first session, so we'll make it very light because I want you all to come every week. Because since we decided that we are going to learn Bhagavad Gita, it's very important to learn the concepts of Bhagavad Gita. So let's start. The Bhagavad Gita, the divine song of God. Bhagavat, the name is derived from the word Bhagavan, which means God, Ishvara. Gita means song, right? So it means the divine song of God. So I would like to dedicate this presentation to A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, because of whom actually we are here. Right? He has made a community called ISKCON where we are able to come together and learn Bhagavad Gita together. Right? When Srila Prabhupada at the age of 70 went to the West to preach the divine wisdom of Bhagavad Gita, and he was taking a class, something similar to this. And you know, there are a lot of whites, right? Because it's in US. And he was talking about Krishna. So they were all, didn't know who Krishna was. They were looking at each other. Who is Krishna? Right? Who is Krishna? It's completely alien, right? Completely alien name for them. But in India, at least we know who is Lord Krishna. Right? Most of us would have read about Krishna. Most of us would have read about Krishna Leela. Some of us have been taught by our parents. Some of us have been taught by our grandparents. So at least India, we have that some kind of culture where we have been taught about Lord Krishna and the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. But to a great extent, we have lost this knowledge. I guess everyone will agree to that? Yes? To a great extent, we have lost this. And today, the intent of this course is actually to revive that. So it should start from us. A lot of people say that, what is the use of changing in this world when other people are not changing? Right? Let's not focus on others. Right? What is in our control? Ourselves. Right? First, we have to change ourselves. Then we can think about others. A lot of people, what they do, others are not changing, why should I change? Others changing is never in our control. Right? So one which is not in our control, why break our head? Right? So simple, right? Why break our head for that? So what is in our control? Changing us. How do we start that? By starting to understand the Bhagavad Gita. And let's start. The topic today is the missing link. Right? What every one of us are looking for in life. You want to answer? Moksha. Moksha, okay. That's a little too high, Prabhuji said, moksha. Peace, happiness, success. Anything else? What is it? Progress. Yes. What else? Health. Okay. Yes, I agree to all of this. So in our life, we do all of these things. Right? Why do we do all this? All of us are busy doing some of the other things. We take care of the family. Some go to work. Some manage a business. Some go to school. Some go to movies and restaurant. Some try to steal or do some unethical activities. All of these things, I'm not saying any one of us do, but most of us outside the general public do these things. So now why do we do all these? You have all answered it. Some worship God. It is for happiness. Everyone is looking for happiness. Right? Nobody can deny that. Everyone wants happiness. Anyone wants to remain sad? Here? Nobody, right? Everyone wants to remain happy. And that is the quest. If you even step out of the road, so many advertisements you see, right? Right? I will tell you. Buy this home, you'll be happy. You've seen this advertisement? On the banners you would have seen. Just 2 crores. Just 2 crores. It's become just. Right? Buy this home, you will be happy. So the advertisement people are also capturing this particular element called happiness. They know if you put happiness forward and tell people to buy, they will actually be focused on buying this. Buy this car, you will be happy. You've seen this? So many advertisements, right? Buy this car, you'll be happy. So much BHP goes at this speed. So many seats, 7-seater, you'll be happy. Buy this bike, you'll be happy. Right? This is funny. Buy this innerwear, you'll be happy. Right? I don't know how you can derive happiness from that. But if you see, everything is focused around happiness. The advertisement people are just focusing on this because they know people are looking for happiness. Why would someone possess something? Right? It gives them some kind of happiness. Right? Let's have a detailed analysis on this now. So our needs, we have 3 basic needs. The first one is a physical need. Right? Everyone wants to take care of this body. Roti, kapda, makan. Right? Everyone is working for that. Taking care of the body is very important. We can't just neglect body because it is something that is being given by the Lord. So we have to take care of the body. It's very important. The physical need is something that everyone wants. Another one is psychological need. What is psychological need? Sense of achievement. That is very important. Well, for a school kid to get high marks, to get a rank, is an achievement. Right? For a kid who is very average in his studies, if 35 is the passing mark, getting 36 is an achievement. Right? For corporates, going to work, getting a big hike, getting a good appraisal is an achievement. Getting a big bonus is an achievement. Getting a big promotion is an achievement. Right? So psychological need is also very important. Yeah, because this gives you a lot of confidence as well. So this as well is important. So physical need and psychological need. Now there is something called as emotional need. What is emotional need? Emotional need. Sense to love and sense to be loved. Right? That's why we have this social group, something called as marriage as well. Right? Where people are socializing because we want a lot of love. We want love and we want to give love. Right? So these three needs are very important. First is physical need. Second, third, very good. Now, to a great extent, if you see, a lot of rich people and celebrities have this to a great extent. You all agree to that? Physical need, to take care of their needs. So many people are there. Right? I'll give you an example. Michael Jackson, everyone knows Michael Jackson, right? When it comes to physical need, I'll say that Michael Jackson wanted to live up to an age of 150 years. 150 years. You all know what age he passed away? 58, I think. I'm not wrong. Yeah? 58. 150 years he wanted to live. Now his house was so big, he had an entire floor just for taking care of his medical activities. He had doctors on call, nurses on call, organ donors on call. Right? When it comes to physical need, it was all taken care to a great extent. When it comes to psychological need, he was the biggest pop star. At a time when there was no internet, you would have seen his performances. There were people who were just falling unconscious just at the sight of Michael Jackson. Right? So psychological need also is fulfilled to a great, great extent, something we can't imagine as well. And then emotionally, so many people loved him. So many people loved him. If you would have taken old DVDs of Michael Jackson, you would see mostly the focus is on the crowd. And there were so many ladies and people just falling, fainting at the mere sight of Michael Jackson. And even though Michael Jackson had so many things, what happened to him? Right? So what happened? See, what we are trying to understand is celebrities have a lot of this to a great extent. I'll talk about another celebrity. This is Chester Bennington. I'm sure most of you would have heard about Linkin Park, right? As a big group, big guy. And before, when I was in my college, we used to sing his songs. When it comes to Linkin Park, it was pretty famous, right? So Chester Bennington had all these needs that we are talking about. But on 20th July 17th, he committed suicide. So what are we trying to understand? Though we have family, friends, wealth, fame, a lot of things, there is something that is missing. Right? A lot of people say if you get wealth, everything is sorted. Right? I'm not saying, well, you should not go and get well, you should. But it's not the ultimate, right? When people say you will get a lot of happiness. Because these are some of the examples. There are multiple examples that I can pull. I'm sure you all know as well. Back of your head, you would have names also. Right? So it's very important to know this. Then let's find out what is that missing link. We spoke about physical need, psychological need, and emotional need. What is that missing link? Right? What is that missing link that people are craving for, or probably they do not know about it? Yes, that is spiritual need. So when we look at externally people may look very happy, right? When you scratch them a little bit, when they go through a certain turmoil in their life, that's when you know the real color of that person or the real nature of that person. Right? We take care of our external self very well. But do we take care of our internal self? we neglect it. So Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, we are spiritual souls having a human experience. A lot of people think we are humans having a spiritual experience. Right? Krishna says we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Right? It's a deep topic and we will cover that at later sessions. But today we want to understand how Bhagavad Gita manifested. What are the teachings? Some of the teachings, just give you a glimpse as to what you can expect from this course. Right? And when it comes to spiritual need, there are four basic questions that people ask. The Vedanta Sutra, the first line is Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Now that I've got a human life, inquire. Inquire what? Who am I? Who is God? What is my relationship with God? And how do I revive the relationship with God? These are the four important questions. Now that we have a human life, and when we are going into a spiritual path, this is the first few existential questions that we should ask. And Bhagavad Gita helps you answer this. You'll get more clarity into this. Right? So I'll show you a short video. Prabhuji, is there volume? Volume is up. Are you all able to hear?
What does he get in return for doing this every single day? He gets nothing. He won't be richer. He won't appear on TV. He continues to remain the same unknown person. But what he surely receives are emotions. He witnesses happiness, reaches a deeper understanding of life, feels the satisfaction and bliss within. He receives what money cannot buy. Happiness is not external business, it's an internal one. So where should we search for the true happiness? You can answer it yourself, within or without.
Thank you so much. How did you like the video? A nice video, right? So, everyone knows these personalities? Very famous, right? Very famous. They're famous for their philanthropic work, right? Happiness can be attained even by practice, basic aspects of spirituality. So when you give something to others without a sense of pride, feeling compassionate, you derive a sense of happiness. Right? When you actually go to an old age home, or when you give something at an orphanage, right, you certainly derive some kind of happiness, right? And these are some personalities who have done that. I just put their pictures. So what I'm trying to tell you is, these are some basic things in spirituality, and doing this itself gives you a lot of happiness. Imagine a person who is completely spiritual. What kind of happiness will he derive? These are some of the basic things in spirituality. Helping others, being compassionate, right? So basic tenets in spirituality, not complete. But this itself gives you so much happiness. Imagine when you're spiritually awakened, when you walk the spiritual path, what kind of happiness you will derive. Right? So that's very important. So let's look at what our founder Acharya says. The divine words of founder Acharya of ISKCON. Every one of us are searching after happiness, but we do not know what real happiness is. We see so much advertised about happiness, but practically speaking, we see so few people happy. This is because so few people know that the platform of real happiness is beyond temporary things. It is the real happiness that is described in Bhagavad Gita by Lord Krishna to Arjuna. Right? So, when it comes to Bhagavad Gita has got solution to all problems. Everyone would have heard this. Yeah. Practically, but we never open to find out what is the solution. Right? We have just heard. Right? I think before I always talk about Bhagavad Gita being a manual, right? It's very important to know the Bhagavad Gita being a manual. When you buy a washing machine, what happens? What do you get with the washing machine? You get a manual, right? If I don't look at the manual and start fiddling with washing machine, what will happen to the washing machine? I'll either spoil it, the span of the washing machine will go down. So what would an intelligent person do? He'll read the manual. Because the manufacturer would know how to, he's the best person, right? To tell us how to deal with that, how to work with the washing machine. It's very important. Similarly, Bhagavad Gita is a life manual for all of us. A lot of people say, Prabhuji, if I read Bhagavad Gita, will all my problems be solved? Will I not have any problems? Problems will come. As long as you have a body, problems will be there. Yantra Rudhani Maya. Yantra, this machine, as long as we will have problems. What does Bhagavad Gita do? Bhagavad Gita actually gives you a lot of wisdom to tackle those problems. When you have not walked the spiritual path, it is very easy for us to succumb to all the problems, give up, go into anxiety, go into depression. But when we have something called as Bhagavad Gita, it gives you so much profound wisdom. It helps you to tackle all those problems. Problems will remain. Right? There are so many negative people around. Like, Prabhuji, can I get rid of them? How will you get rid of people? You have a family. Some of our relatives are negative. Can you get rid of them? You can't. Right? It's very important. We can't. So Bhagavad Gita will act as a shelter. Just like if there is rain and I do not want to get wet, what do? Carry an umbrella. I can't expect Lord Indra to stop the rains just for me, right? He won't do that. So what should I do? Carry an umbrella. So that's what Bhagavad Gita does. A lot of problems will come into our life. Right? It's just like a normal person, a general person. Right? He's going in auto rickshaw on a very bumpy road. Road is bumpy. And he takes up all the jerks and all. Right? It's not a very smooth ride. So when it comes to Bhagavad Gita, what happens? It's just like traveling in a very luxurious car on the same bumpy road. Right? Problems are still there. Bumpy road is still there. But our car is luxurious. Right? That's what Bhagavad Gita does. So it's very important when people say Bhagavad Gita has got solutions to all your problems. It certainly does. If you have read the Bhagavad Gita, you would know. Be it anything, be it to deal with your anxiety, be it to deal with your anger, managing your time, what you're supposed to eat, when you're supposed to eat, how much you're supposed to sleep, how to become a leader. Right? There was something that I told last class about a particular book. I forgot who's the writer. Someone can tell me. 7 Habits of an Effective Person. Who's that? Stephen Covey. Highest bookseller. Why? When someone interviewed him, sir, your book, highest bookseller. So he thanked the Indians. He said, none of them have read the Bhagavad Gita. I was highly influenced by Bhagavad Gita. Most of the points are from there. Right? So this is what happens. We actually neglect what is there in our house. Ghar ki murgi dal barabar, we say, no? It is so easy for us to access Bhagavad Gita, but we don't do it. Right? So let's. Now, another thing that I want to speak about, when it comes to our previous generation, right? The people right now go through a lot of depression, anxiety, and all. Right? We have counselors also. If you have your grandfathers or their father, if you go and ask them, have you heard about something called as counselor? Have you heard something about depression? What do you think they will answer? There is no such thing. There is no such thing. They are completely alien to these names or these concepts. You know why? Because previously, maybe 2 or 3 generations back, everyone had natural spiritual practice at home. The family would come together in the morning, do some kind of puja or spiritual practice. They do entire day, they work. Evening, again, the entire family comes together and do some kind of spiritual activity. Maybe mantra meditation or do puja. And that's why the family also was very close knit. The counselors were there at home itself. They didn't need to go outside. That is something that is missing right now. Now, if you want a family get together, right now everyone is on their mobile. Father is on the mobile, mother is on the mobile, kid is on the mobile. The mother messages the child who is on the first floor, dinner is ready, why don't you come down? Right? That is the situation that we are facing right now. So, Bhagavad Gita will actually equip us. If you tell now, if we do a certain kind of puja, right? We are offering arti, right? We are offering bhoga to the Lord. And our kids are watching us. And we tell the kid, you also do. The kid will ask, why should I do? What is the importance of this? The thing is, we don't know what is the importance of this. Why do we do arti? Why do we offer incense? Right? And we will not be able to help tell them as well. How can, see, right now people need logical answers. If you tell my parents have done, now you also have to do. You know what they will tell, right? Right? So it's we have to understand the importance of this. First, we have to learn, and then only we can inspire others. Right? So the goal of the Gita course, to assist you in fulfilling the spiritual need through divine teachings of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, this can ensure that positivity, a lot of positivity that we need to talk about. I spoke about negative people, right? So negative people, we can't get rid of negative people. We have to imbibe positivity. That will help us tackle those negative people. Being enthusiastic. How do we be enthusiastic? We can be enthusiastic. See what I do. If today we are taking a class, today you are all enthusiastic. Next week onwards, read Bhagavad Gita daily. Read Shastra daily. What will happen as soon as you step out of this room, right? All the enthusiasm will go fizzle down. That is natural human tendency. Right? So this Sunday classes will act as a recharge for you. Right? We need this. We are supposed to do this on a daily basis, but for now, at least, let's start weekly once. Let's take this course very seriously. A lot of people here have benefited out of this course. I have personally benefited out of this course. I don't get anything by bringing you here, talking for 1.5 hours. I'm a working professional, I'm married, I have a kid. I don't get anything out of it. This is a seva that my seniors have told, and I'm gladly, happily doing it for you all. Right? So it's very important for us to take, even the volunteers that is calling you, they're similar people like us, working people. They have a family, they have kids, but they do it as seva. Because this wisdom, everyone needs to take this wisdom. It's very important. See, when we meet, even in my office, I meet so many people. And I see there is a lot of need when it comes to spirituality. So many people are suffering. But they do not know they are suffering. That is another thing. Right? So Bhagavad Gita will actually help you uncover certain questions that are there in your mind as well. To answer those questions. Right? Forbearing, Bhagavad Gita, the teachings of the wisdom, of this wisdom, will make you thick-skinned also. Small things won't affect you. It doesn't mean that you will become emotionless. No, you will have emotions. But you will know when to use what. You will be able to use it using your intellect. And then divine. This is divine knowledge coming from Lord Krishna itself, who is divinity. And certainly when we hear and practice what is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, we also, at a certain point, will get those divine qualities. Right? So, another thing that we speak about, I spoke about our kids, right? How we have to inspire them as well. So when they have certain questions, when we are not able to answer, they will not come to this path or they will not take into spirituality. See, anything right now, Bhagavad Gita is very scientific, very logical. A lot of people who have read the Bhagavad Gita many times and practicing it on a daily basis can vouch for it. I can vouch for it. Many of the devotees here can vouch for it. Now, how do I say it's scientific? What is the procedure when it comes to scientific, being scientific? There's a certain process that we follow, right? I tell you. Though be scientific, don't be a blind follower. If you see, I have my so many Muslim friends and so many Christian friends. If I talk to them, most of the Muslims have read their Quran. If I talk to my Christian friends, most of them have read the Bible. In fact, they have every Sunday they have this mass, they go for a test as well. So nice, right? Test. What about Hindus? So we all know there is a problem, right? We all agree there is a problem. And this is the problem that we want to tackle by this Bhagavad Gita course. Right? So when I say be scientific, there's a certain process. This is the process for anything that when it comes to you want to prove it scientifically. Right? So nowadays what is happening is we just have aim and we just have conclusion. To understand if Bhagavad Gita works in the modern age, conclude, no, it doesn't work. Because I heard it from my friend, he says it doesn't work. Because he never went through this process. The aim is to understand Bhagavad Gita if it works. Second, what is the apparatus? Bhagavad Gita itself. What is the procedure? Study Bhagavad Gita and implement what is there. Just by studying, there are so many people who have studied. And later on they will also say it doesn't work. But we need to implement as well. And then we can make an observation. There are two observations that we can make. Either it works, either it transforms you, or it does not transform you. These are two observations. And then you can conclude if Bhagavad Gita works in the modern age or not. Everyone knows this? You can take it down. See, what I would suggest is every Sunday that you come, right? Please get a book and pen. It's very important. Right? We give so much importance to our mind and intellect, things that we'll remember. I'll ask you something after 2 days, you will not remember. It's simple, actually. Right? So it's very, so I would suggest that you all write it down. For now, if you have in your mobile, you can write it down in your mobile as well. Because these are some of the things that is very important. Right? Now let's dig a little deep, not very deep. Right? I was just want to tell how Bhagavad Gita manifested. So some certain small questions I'm sure you all would know. Everyone knows who is Dhritarashtra? Who is Dhritarashtra? Father of Kauravas. Who is Pandu? Dhritarashtra's brother and father of Pandavas. Very nice. Dhritarashtra had a disability. What was that? He was blind. See, actually, the B.R. Chopra serials have helped us, right? I always tell my students not to watch any kind of serial, at least the modern day serials. The B.R. Chopra was still better, right? At least don't watch the modern day serials because we have so many concocted ideas in that, and people take that as the truth. But if you refer the scriptures, it's nowhere close to the scripture. If we have 18 chapter in Bhagavad Gita, that is probably referring the 19th or 20th chapter. Right? So please don't go by the normal modern day serials. P.R. Chopra was still fine. When we were all young kids, we have watched, most of us would have watched this because that time we didn't have so many channels as well. Now we're bombarded with 500 channels. Those days I think DD National and something, two or three channels we had. Yeah. Right? So everyone knows this. That's very nice. Thanks to P.R. Chopra. Now tell me one thing. Pandu, how many wives did Pandu have? Can you name them? Kunti and Madri. Very nice, very nice. Very nice. So let's go into a little background about Pandu's life, right? So Pandu was married to Kunti and Madri. There was a time when Pandu actually went to go for hunting into the forest, right? And when he went hunting, he saw actually two deers in a very intimate, having a very intimate moment. And he shot his arrow and he killed one of the deer. Okay? And what happened? When the deer died, it took the original form. It was a sage, Kindama sage. And the wife also took her original form. So Pandu was very morose as to hear what has he done. So he went down and he begged forgiveness. But Sage's wife was very upset. She was very sad. She said, she cursed him. She said, during our intimate time, you came and disturbed us and killed my husband. I curse you, during your intimate time, you will also die. This was the curse that was given to Pandu. Now, at this moment, Pandu didn't have kids. You know what was going in his head? Who will take care of the kingdom? Who will take care of the kingdom? I don't have kids. And Pandu, along with his wife, actually went into an exile because he was so depressed. He didn't know what to do. How will the whole world follow? Right? After me. So now that we know a little background about Pandu, I'll give you a little background about Kunti also. So Kunti has a history. Kunti once actually served a great sage. Do you know who that is? Yes. Very, never gets angry. He's known for his anger, right? So sage Durvasa, she served him so well, Durvasa Muni actually gave her a benediction. She gave her a mantra and told you can actually invoke 5 devtas to have a child. So in those days, the mantras were so powerful that without any kind of physical touch or being intimate, you can actually have a child. And what did Kunti do? She wanted to test this, right? And she used the first mantra, and whom did she invoke? Surya Dev. And who was the kid? Karna. And she saw the mantra worked. Right? It's so powerful mantra, she invoked. Surya Dev came and they had a child. Now, at this point of time, Kunti was not married. And when she is not married, the society would not accept, right? having a kid. So what did she do with the kid? Left it in the river, stream. Yeah, she left it in the. And then Karna went his journey. We all won't get into that. So that will take probably a week for me to discuss the whole Mahabharata. So you know how. So later on, as they were in the forest, Kunti, Pandu, and Madri. So Kunti spoke about this particular benediction that she has. And hearing this, Pandu was so happy. You had this benediction and all this while you didn't tell me? He was so happy. Please invoke the Devtas. Right? So we should have offsprings. Or we should have kids. So who was the first one that Kunti Maharani invoked? Yamaraj. Yamaraj. And who was the kid? Yudhishthira. Second, which Devta was invoked? Vayudev. And who was the kid? Bhima. Third, who was the Devta? Lord Indra. And who was the kid? Arjuna. So three you done. First one earlier she has used. And last one. Right? So Pandu said, now we have three kids from you. Give one to Madri also. Right? So she gave it to Madri and Madri invoked the Ashwini Kumars. And who are the kids? Nakul and Sanjay, twins. Right? So I think everyone knows this, right? Very nice, very nice. So everyone knew that Yudhishthira was the ideal king because of his qualities, because of his nature, and of course because of his age as well. Right? But Dhritarashtra was a little cunning. Right? He always had a lot of jealousy. He always made. See, actually, what happens is when a brother's brother dies and his kids are there, he always takes shelter of the younger brothers or elder brothers' shelter. And they have to look after them like their kids also. So ideally, Yudhishthira is supposed to take care of Pandavas like Kauravas. But he always made a distinction. Dhritarashtra, since Dhritarashtra couldn't rule in a very nice way because he was blind, he always wanted his son to rule. Back of his head, everything, son has to rule. A lot of things he could have stopped, but he didn't stop. You would have all seen the Mahabharata. He had plotted, when it comes to Dhritarashtra, be plotting so many things to kill, ways to kill Pandavas. He stayed mum. He didn't utter a word. Do you know what are the ways that Kauravas tried to kill Pandavas? Which was that? Which one? Lakshagrahan. Who said that? Very nice. Lakshagrahan. Wax palace they had made, and they burned the entire palace. With the help of Vidura, they escaped actually. What is the next one? Where did they do? Another way of killing Pandavas. Poison whom? Bhimsen. So Bhimsen is a voracious eater. Right? Most of us are, I think, once the prasad comes. So Bhimsen is multi times. We are nowhere close to Bhimsen. So he would eat anything you offer him. They offered something in kheer with poison. They tried to kill him as well. That is another story that how he derived 10,000 elephant strength. So there are various ways that Kauravas actually tried to kill Pandavas. So as they grew up, everyone knows the dice game, right? As they grew up together, there was something called as the dice game that came into picture. So a lot of time, a lot of devotees actually ask, Prabhuji, when dice game they asked, Yudhishthira could have actually, said no to that game, right? Why did he actually have to go through that game? So during those days, if a Kshatriya is challenged for a war or a game or for marriage, someone asks them for marriage, they have to accept. Right? Someone asked for a dice game at that point of time, Yudhishthira had to accept it. Right? And everyone knows what really went through the entire dice game. They actually lost everything. Lost their kingdom. He lost his wife. Everyone knows Draupadi Vastraharan, right? Very famous. He lost everything. And what was the punishment that was given to the Pandavas? Everyone knows? One was, how many years one was? 13 years? 13 plus 1. Who says 13 plus 1? Who says 12 plus 1? Who says 14? Okay, the right answer is 12 plus 1. So 12 years of vanvas, 1 year of agyatwas. So 12 years they have to roam around in the forest. So what is Duryodhana's plan? See, here also is putting his mastermind into picture. The idea was, in the forest, they'll somehow get killed by some wild animals. Right? Only 5 of them, and there is Kunti Maharani and Draupadi. The idea was 12 years they'll die. If they don't die, they have to do Agyatwas in the neighboring kingdom itself. That we will find out. That was the idea. And what happens if we find out during Agyatwas, they have to repeat the cycle again. You saw how clever he was. The 12 years he was leaving it to the forest, something will happen. If nothing happens, 1 year we'll find them. And again repeat the whole thing. Pandavas are so pious, right? They have a lot of intelligence. 12 years they went to the exile very nicely. 1 year they stayed in Agyatwas during, who was the king? King Virata, the neighboring kingdom itself. They stayed, every one of them. And they went through the entire process of Agyatwas. They never got caught. And they came back after the punishment was given, after they went through the entire thing. After they went through the entire thing, they asked for kingdom and they said, no, we can't give, because they are Kshatriyas, right? You need kingdom to rule. They are prince. They need kings and they need a kingdom to rule. And they said, no, we can't. So Pandavas actually sent someone as a peace messenger. Does anyone know who it was? Yes, it was our Lord who actually went as a peace messenger. He said, see, you're not giving us kingdoms, it's fine. Pandavas, they will listen to me. Just give 5 villages. See, they are Kshatriyas, they need to rule. Right? Don't give us big kingdoms. It's fine. Give 5 villages. Can you do that? You know what Duryodhana said? I will not give a place as much as, yes, the needle pin, how much space it occupies, I will not give that much space also. There were so many ways that Pandavas tried to avoid the war. 5 villages, it was nothing for Duryodhana. And Lord Krishna himself went for this. He insulted Rod also. And then everyone knows what really happened, right? The war was inevitable. They had to have the war. Right? Now the war is inevitable. Right? Now everyone assembled at, where was the place? Kurukshetra. So the Pandavas had 7 Akshayoni and Kauravas had 11 Akshayoni. I'll tell you what Akshayoni is. One Akshayoni consists of 21,870 chariots, elephants, 21,870 again, 65,610 horses, and foot soldiers, 1,09,350. This is one Akshayoni. The Pandavas had 7 and Kauravas had 11. So as the war started, so this is where the Bhagavad Gita begins. So as the war is going to take part in Kurukshetra, at the palace, Dhritarashtra was getting a live telecast. By whom? Sanjaya. Now, how did Sanjaya get this divine vision? Does anybody know? Vedavyas. Vedavyas has actually given him a benediction that when time comes, you will be actually view this. Right? Right now we have no live telecast, football matches and cricket matches happening, Barcelona, Sharjah or whatever, and we see it at home. Similar way, Sanjaya, he was doing live telecast for Dhritarashtra. And this is the first shloka of Bhagavad Gita is by Dhritarashtra. Right? There are 7 shlokas and 1 shloka is by Dhritarashtra. Let's actually go through. So this I'm just giving you a picture how Bhagavad Gita manifested. Right? So everyone knows that Arjuna, when he came, he was completely sad. He was depressed when he saw the entire army. He saw his friends, he saw his brothers, he saw his uncles, his grandparents. He was in a state of shock and he didn't know what to do. And that's when he actually takes shelter of Krishna. And that's how Bhagavad Gita starts. And the first shloka is by Dhritarashtra. You will all recite after me. Let's all recite. Dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yuyutsavaha mamaka pandavaschaiva kima kurvata sanjaya Dhritarashtra uvacha dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yuyutsavaha mamaka pandavaschaiva kima kurvata sanjaya. Once more. Dhritarashtra uvacha dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yuyutsavaha mamaka pandavaschaiva kima kurvata sanjaya. Can someone read the translation, please? Anyone?
O Sanjay, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do?
Yes. Thank you so much, Prabhu. See, if you look at this shloka, it is very simple. Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjay, after my sons and sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? For a normal person like us, it's a very simple shloka. Right? But there is so much to dig deep inside this. When Dhritarashtra says, see, he's making a lot of differentiations here as well. Mamakaha Pandavas Jaiva. He says, Mamaka, my sons, and Pandavas' sons. Pandavas are there. So there is differentiation that he's making. And what else he's telling? Dharma Kshetra, Kurukshetra. He also knows Kurukshetra is Dharma Kshetra. And he also knows Pandavas are very pious. So just like when we have a home ground, I've been practicing cricket in my apartment ground, and I have an opponent who is coming from another apartment. The home ground will favor me, right? Because I have played so many matches there. Similarly, Dhritarashtra had this thought: the Dharma Kshetra, Kurukshetra would favor the Pandavas. So he had a lot of thoughts that were coming into her head. And why would he ask? When they are desiring to fight, what did they do? Both of them. Yeah, Samaveta Yuyutsava. What did they do? It is just like saying, after our Gita course, after our Gita class, after our Aarti, we go for prasadam, we take our plate, we have got the prasadam in our hand, we are hungry. What did I do? What will we do? We are hungry, we got the plate full of prasadam, what will I do? We will eat. So is that even a question? It's a funny question. Why did Dhritarashtra ask that question? So when we look normally at this question, we will not dig deep as to why such a question was asked. Because he had a lot of doubt. He had a doubt that Pandavas will have home ground advantage and they will defeat Kauravas. He also thought, since it's Dharma Kshetra, the Kauravas will get influenced. He wanted the war to happen. Dhritarashtra wanted the war to happen. He said he thought the Dharma Kshetra will influence his kids and they will say, no, let's not go for war. Whatever is there for Pandavas, we'll give it away. So these were the questions that were there in his head, and that's why he said, desiring to fight, what did they do? What really happened? Otherwise, desiring to fight, what will they do? They'll fight. The entire army is ready. Right? So I'm just giving you an understanding as to how each sloka has got so much in-depth meaning when it comes to Bhagavad Gita. Just by taking Bhagavad Gita, yes, everyone should have a Bhagavad Gita at home. That is very important. That is very considered to be very auspicious as well. It's just like getting Krishna home. Because the words are spoken by Lord Krishna himself. Right? Just by reciting these shlokas, we get so much auspicious. So many of us, Sarjapur, there are, how many people are there in Sarjapur? No, we are all there. But totally how many people are there in Sarjapur? Totally how many people are there in Sarjapur? Lakhs? Lakhs? How many came to Janmashtami? 7 to 8,000? You all came. You all came. I agree. I'm not saying you didn't come. 7 to 8,000 people came. Out of the lakhs, 7 to 8,000 people came. Out of 7 to 8,000 people, how many people registered? 400 people registered. How many people are there in this hall? So you all should consider yourself to be very lucky. Yeah, it will be probably the mercy from the Lord. It will be probably because of some prayers by your family members or for some devotee that got you here. Don't take this lightly, please. A lot of times we actually take all this very lightly. Lakhs of people are there in Sarjapur. We had hosted it for everyone. We didn't say only this apartment people can come, this apartment. No. Janmashtami we host for everyone. Everyone should take darshan of the Lord. Right? I can't say Krishna is just mine. He's everyone's. Right? So the Bhagavad Gita is considered to be the greatest motivational lecture. The greatest, so many of us. If you actually look at many of the motivational speakers, if you have read Bhagavad Gita very well, you will understand some of the concepts are taken from Bhagavad Gita itself. A lot of people clap motivational speaker because they are the people who have not read the Bhagavad Gita. Now, I'm not demeaning any of the motivational speakers. It is good. We need motivational speakers, right? But we have to also understand that a bigger kind of motivation awaits us in Bhagavad Gita. You open the book, 700 gems. So much to uncover. So much. 45 minutes Lord Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita. That's it, 45 minutes. We take an entire lifetime to understand the Bhagavad Gita. Still, some of us don't understand the Bhagavad Gita. The easiest way to understand Bhagavad Gita is at least by coming to the classes regularly. So at least I think everyone should be committed that regularly, every Sunday, whatever happens, 11 o'clock, I am keeping this space just to understand the Bhagavad Gita. It's a commitment that everyone should take. Right? Just like I said, earlier times in the Vedic times, we had spiritual practice happening in the morning and in the evening. It was like a habit. How was the habit built? Over a period of time. Habit doesn't build on a day-to-day basis. Right? Habit is something that we need to practice over a period of time. As soon as we get up, we brush, we take bath. It's a habit. Similarly, when it comes to reading Bhagavad Gita, understanding Bhagavad Gita, we should make it a habit. At least for now, the smallest thing that you could do, or the easiest thing that you can do, Sunday. Every Sunday, whatever happens, please come. All you need to do is listen. Listen to a discourse, take divine darshan of Shri Radha and Shri Krishna, dance on Kirtan, sing the Kirtan, have prasadam. Is this so difficult? No, it's not. It will actually recharge you also. Your daily problems that you deal with in your office, your family, your relatives, this will give you so much respite and so much power to deal with all this. So take it as a recharge also. Our battery is down, our phone, how do we recharge? We plug it in, right? It doesn't run for one and a half day beyond that. We need a recharge as well. And spiritual wisdom will give you the recharge. Now, I'm assuring you this because I've gone through the same process. Most of us have gone through the same process. And we can vouch for this. I'm not getting anything out of this. I don't get paid. I do this as a seva. Right? So please be committed. I'm very happy that you all came here and see so much of attendance. Right? I would like you all to come on a daily basis. See, ISKCON is like a small family that we are trying to build, where we are trying to understand what is there in Bhagavad Gita and become a devotee of Lord. Right? And Lord will come in various ways to actually help us. A lot of people ask this question, Right? Have you seen Krishna face to face? So many people, Prabhuji, have you seen Krishna face to face? So I say, I am not seeing Krishna face to face, but I see his hand in everything. Right? Because when it comes to, I think, chapter 1, verse 29, he says that Veputasya Sharire me. He says, my body is trembling. Huh? He wants to give up the Gandhi. The Gandhi was slipping from his hands. His skin is burning. My hairs are standing on my edge of my hand. I'm not able to do anything, Krishna. 18th chapter, same Arjuna says, Nashta moha smritil labdha. So all my delusions, all my illusions have just gone away just by listening to you, Krishna. All the problems that I had, all the confusion that I have just gone away. So that's why it said the greatest motivational speech. Right? What state of mind Arjuna entered the battlefield and what state of mind he was at the end of Bhagavad Gita. Just took him 45 minutes. Arjuna is a great devotee, and that was Dwapar Yuga, so we can't have the similar kind of intelligence. But this is what Bhagavad Gita does to you. When you are at a stage of completely giving up everything, that's when the wisdom of Gita actually helps you out. Now, what I'll do is, we'll take some questions. I wanted to keep this very easy for the first session, but we gained a lot of knowledge. Yes, everyone agrees. Yeah. So some kind of foundation, some kind of base that we need to build before we start in depth about Bhagavad Gita. Next few sessions will be in depth. It'll be in depth. We'll be talking about mind control. We'll be talking about body and soul. We'll be talking about why bad things happen to good people. Karma in depth. The yoga ladder. So many things to learn. The next few weeks, please do come with your books. Fill that book up while we finish the entire Gita course. Then you will be in a position, someone asks you, have you read the Gita? You will be able to confidently say, yes. Now, if I ask someone, Prabhuji, because we go, every December we go out to distribute Bhagavad Gita on the road. Right? As some people, they probably wouldn't have, pata hai Bhagavad Gita. Karam karo aur kuch phal ki chinta mat karo. Just one shloka. Out of 700 shlokas, one shloka. That is not the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Right? We have to understand that. I'm not saying that you should not do your karam, you should. But that is not the essence of Bhagavad Gita. There is a lot more to learn from Bhagavad Gita. Right? Because karam karna, everyone has to do their karam. Otherwise, we can't sustain. But along with karam, how we are supposed to do that karam? A lot of other existential questions that come along. That needs to be answered. And that answer, we get it by reading the entire Bhagavad Gita. Right? I thank you all. Now I'll take a few questions. Then we'll actually go into mantra meditation. This is very important. Another thing I want to tell you all, practice, I have told you, practice is very important. Right? We'll do the mantra meditation today. Let me know how you feel. A lot of people have actually gone through this particular mantra meditation and they see changes, tangible changes within them. Right? Be it spiritually, be it materially, a lot of changes happen. Right? And we will be actually doing the mantra meditation of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. At a later stage, we'll speak about why it's called the Maha Mantra as well. Right? So I would like to take a few questions if you all have questions, because questions open doors. Questions are always welcome. So please do ask questions if you have anything related to this topic today. No, actually, it'll be a little more than 9 to. We are probably trying to extend it a little bit, make it 13 session at least, right? Because the main concepts of Bhagavad Gita, we can't cover the entire 700 shlokas. So what is expected out of you is, as we are dealing with the concepts of Bhagavad Gita, the main concept, be it karma, be it mind control, be it what is body and soul, right? be it the yoga ladder, the different kinds of yoga that is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. You are all supposed to read Bhagavad Gita also on a daily basis. Don't completely depend on me. I'm certainly here to answer, but there is some kind of endeavor from your side also. If you go to school, you are completely thinking that whatever teacher says, enough. You have to go home and practice, right? It is very important to go home and practice. So similarly, what we are trying to build is a habit. That is very important. Habit is what we lack. That is the reason for most of the problems in our life. Right? If you see, in this age of instant consumption, Swiggy, Instamart, instantly we want. We don't want to go out and buy things now. We have become lazy. Right? If you have a belly, I'm sure I have a belly because I'm sitting at home and instantly ordering things. Instant consumption. At this age, it's very important to actually put certain things into practice. Right? So even when you're starting mantra meditation, give it some time. Spirituality takes time. You don't expect today, I'm doing mantra meditation, tomorrow I will levitate to a certain level. It doesn't happen like that. It doesn't happen like that. Give it time. Right? Give it your presence. Do it with all your heart. That is important. Right? Our tolerance level has completely gone down. Everyone agrees? Tolerance, we don't have zero tolerance. Right? We have a lift, right? We press the lift and it's coming down. Still we keep on pressing. Do we do that? Why do we do that? It's showing, arrow showing it's coming down 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3. But still we keep on pressing. What is it going to do? Tolerance level has completely gone down. Even with the kids. What is happening? Instagram, you have reels, which is 30 seconds. Anything beyond 30 seconds, we can't. We can't. We don't want to even hear. Our attention span is the lowest. The lowest was of goldfish. It was 7 seconds. Human beings, 5 seconds now. That is the attention span that we have. So all clinically proven. Right? So now, as there are modern things that have come into the picture, which is certainly helping us in certain ways, but we get so addicted that we forget what is necessary. Right? I'm not telling you just completely switch off your mobile and do all this. No, all the activities are necessary for your well-being, but you have to give priority. Like I said in my earlier class, a lot of people say, Bhagavad Gita, I don't have time. But if there is some kind of urgency, we will make time. Like last class in the Janmashtami also, I said, if today I tell you that today I'm going to kidnap your child, keep him with me. Every day you have to read shloka. Then only I will return him. You will all pick your Bhagavad Gita and start reading the shloka. Why? Because your kid is your priority. Right? So time, it is not about time management. It is about priority. So if you give priority, you will read. Sorry for giving that example. I will never do that. Right? I was just trying to give some kind of analogy and this is what came into my mind. Right? So prioritize. That is very important. Don't say we don't have time. Krishna says, Aham kalosmi, he is time. And if you are desiring to read Bhagavad Gita, do you think he won't give you time? Einstein said he derives so much knowledge from reading Bhagavad Gita. Such a great scientist. Mahatma Gandhi, though he interpreted in a certain different way, but he has derived some kind of wisdom from Bhagavad Gita. Right? So it has helped everyone. So please, please, please take this very seriously. Sunday, I commit that I will come. I'll give a session. I want a commitment from you all that you'll all come and take advantage of this session. Right? And please do come with your book and pen next time. It'll be easier. It is for your benefit. I don't get anything out of it. It's for your benefit so that you can refer. It's very easy to forget. It's Kali Yuga. Manda Sumanda Matayo. They said Manda Bhagya. We have zero level of intelligence when it comes to remembering, memory. There is no memory. Yesterday, what I did, I can't recall. So many things. Only few things I can recall. Otherwise, I can't recall the entire thing. Right? So it's very nice to write it down also. And when you're writing it down, it's easier also. Whatever is there in your mind, you're penning it down. And you can refer it at a later. If someone asks you also, right? If your kid asks you or if your friend asks you, you can refer it. Right? Rather than giving some knowledge that somewhere you have picked up. Authentic Shastra knowledge is better. Right? Okay. I will not take your time. Is there any questions? You have any questions?
What if we miss any class because of some travel?
Okay. Good question. Good question. A question like that is answered by a sincere person only, who is actually wanting to. So, Prabhuji, what we'll do is you can actually contact your volunteer. Someone has called you today? Yeah? Contact your volunteer. They'll probably send you a YouTube link because we are recording this as well. Yeah? But ideally, I would suggest that you all come because it's very important when we have a connection when someone is seated, right? Right? Face to face, you have a connection. It is easier. It's easier to grasp also. But due to some activity, we are supposed to leave town, and certainly we can't be here. At that point of time, we will be having the recording. Yeah. Anything else? Yes, sir. Okay. Agyat was, it is more like an incognito mode. So the Kauravas should not find Pandavas anywhere. They are supposed to be hidden, right? And they are supposed to do some kind of activity in a hidden way. And if they found out, if Kauravas found out during Agyatavas, these are Pandavas, they are supposed to repeat the entire thing again. That is 12 years of Vanvas and again Agyatavas. So that is. They were staying in King Virata's kingdom. And I think Arjuna was the dancer there. Bhimsen used to look after the Ghoshala. Yudhishthira was one of the ministers who was helping the, if you see, Draupadi was helping the princess in makeup and all the other activities. So that's how all the. No, they didn't reveal the identity. Even the Virat, there is a big Virat war, right? Virat war, who helped? Arjuna helped the Virat's prince. Virat prince was scared seeing the Kauravas. So Arjuna was the one who defeated the entire Kauravas during the Virat war. That's a very famous war. Okay? I hope I have answered. Yeah? Yes, Prabhuji. Yes. Correct. Correct. True. Right, like Prabhuji said, even to understand, see, right now we remember B.R. Chopra because there was so much masala. Even if you remember, if you see any movies, we remember certain things because there was so much masala. Thriller, action, comedy, romance. There's so many things, right? If you actually read the Krishna Leela or Mahabharata also, there is so much of all these things. If you see all these movies that is there right now, I would say they were all influenced by Mahabharata. There is certainly so many things that is derived from Mahabharata. Right? So initially, it's very important to, when you walk this path, to take help. And take help. See, we have, right now we have assigned you volunteers also. Right? And as you're reading shlokas, you will certainly have some doubts. Right? And that's natural to have doubts. But when it comes to Bhagavad Gita as it is or Yatharup, so one of the things that we need to understand is there is no concoction in it. That's why it's called as it is. Right? And as per Krishna, in Bhagavad Gita, he says, Evam parampara praptam. idam rajasyo vidhu. He says this knowledge should be read in a parampara or a sampradaya. And that, because why he says that is because it's not concocted. And one of the ways that you could do is read a Bhagavad Gita which is coming in that line, in that parampara. So that will first solve the problem of authenticity, right? The second problem was making it interesting is by associating. We just started off. Like today, it might be very interesting because we got to know the first shloka, how people can, we have to understand the context and why Dhritarashtra was thinking in such a way. And that is because of the various acharyas in that line that we have. And that's the reason. If I were to translate, I will just translate word by word. That's all. That won't do me any good. Because we will not understand or get the essence of that particular shloka. To make it interesting, association is very important. Taking help is very important. Right? That's why we are trying to build. So we just started off. And it's very important. So if you are meeting any of the senior people here, no, you can ask certain slokas, how we can maybe understand you. If you have a doubt, they'll be able to help you. Or if you have a question, you can actually pose it to your volunteers. They can send it to me. I will send you a voice note also. So I'm also easily approachable. Right? Please connect through your volunteers. And if there are questions that you have at a later stage also, please send it to them. They will send it to me and I'll get it answered. Right? Yes, Prabhu? Yes, Prabhu. Krishna, yes. Can you even think about this? 700 slokas in just 45 minutes to 1 hour. That's all. Arjuna understood also. That is the level of intelligence. Forget Krishna. Krishna is God. Arjuna understood also. Arjuna is not an ordinary personality again. Yes. It's all documented in Mahabharata, which was written by Vedavyas. Right? Vedavyas documented the entire thing. And Mahabharata is again in one of the Bhishma Parvas, it is one of the chapters. Bhagavad Gita is one of the chapters in that. So in that it's mentioned. Srimad Bhagavatam. So Bhagavad Gita is the words spoken by the Lord, and Bhagavatam are words about the Lord. Right? So you can take it as something like this. When you have a project, right? You have certain things that we have to understand. And those are the slokas in Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavatam, we actually dissect those slokas. There are so many things that Krishna says, and that we can dissect by referring Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam again is the biggest scripture. It has got 18,000 shlokas. It has got 12 cantos. It takes a lifetime to read. Bhagavad Gita we can still finish. Bhagavatam takes a lifetime to read. 18,000 shlokas. It is explanation of, there is Krishna Leela, which is the 10th canto. It is explanation of various things when it comes to the creation of the material universe. It is a lot of concepts, creation of material universe, how Lord Brahma got the Gyan from Lord Krishna to create the material universe. Lot of devotees, the stories about devotees, how we can learn from those devotees. Right? You can understand Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam in various ways. One is in a literal way, that this happened, and we learn it literally. One is by something called as didactical way, that we learn from the lessons that is being taught. What is being taught in Bhagavatam, we learn. Right? So that influences us. Another is in a metamorphic way. Is that the word? Yes. That these things can happen in our life. We connect it to our life. Right? These are the three ways we can understand the Shastras. Right? So I hope I understand. So Bhagavad Gita was spoken by the Lord, and Bhagavatam was actually by Shukadeva Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. When Parikshit Maharaj was going to die, and all he wanted to listen was about the Lord. So he said, 7 days I have before I die. I just want to hear about the Lord. So Shukadeva Goswami completely narrates the Bhagavatam. Any other questions, please? Yes, Prabhu. Because that is where it started, O Prabhu. So that was included by Vedavyas. Right? That is the only sloka. Even there are slokas by Sanjaya also at a later part. I don't remember how many slokas by Sanjaya. Prabhu, you remember how many? 11, is it? One sloka by Dhritarashtra, 11 slokas by... Because these are very important slokas because it gives you a context as to how Bhagavad Gita is going to open up. So that was very important as to what was the thought running behind Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra heard the entire Bhagavad Gita, nothing happened to him. He was not transformed. Everyone knows that, right? So everyone can say, he listened to the entire Bhagavad Gita, nothing happened to him. So you have to be open also. If you have a closed heart and just reading it for knowledge, which is good, but we should be open to understand Bhagavad Gita and implement. 41. 41 slokas by Sanjaya. 41 slokas by Sanjaya itself. Right? So we should have an open heart to understand, and Dhritarashtra spoke that just to give a context as to what is really happening. Yeah. I'll take one more question, and if there are any more questions, I'm always here, so you can send me. Oh, Prabhuji, I couldn't hear. In Shastra, it's mentioned 10,000 elephants. 10,000. Mahabharata, it's mentioned 10,000. Oh. Okay, okay. So it's best to refer the Shastras only. A lot of people have different understanding. So in Shastra, it says 10,000 elephants. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. Yes. So what we can't do, we certainly don't have the time to actually do it every shloka. It'll be very tedious for me. It'll be very tedious for you to sit and listen also. Right? Like I said, the Dhritarashtra shloka, we can have an entire class for 1 hour. 1 hour we can speak about this particular shloka. Once we dissect it. So imagine 700 shlokas, 700 days. So what we say is that the main concepts is very important. So what we are trying to cover is the main concepts. Then we understand these concepts, and when you start Bhagavad Gita reading, which I am telling you all to start, you will be able to relate to it. It will be easier for you to understand. Right? And certainly while you have questions, while you're reading Bhagavad Gita, you certainly will have questions. And that you can pose it to your volunteers. Right? If you have any kind of doubts, you can pose it to your volunteers and they will answer. If they want, they will actually forward it to me also. I can answer it to you also. Yeah? So it is both the sides. We have to actually I have a desire to teach and tell whatever I know. There should be a desire from your end also that I want to learn. Right? That's what happened with Dhritarashtra was what? He didn't have a desire to change. He didn't have a desire to learn. So he was like that only. Right? Blind materially and blind spiritually also. Right? So what I'll do is I'll stop the session now and start with mantra meditation. We'll just spend 10 minutes on mantra meditation. So Prabhuji can give the japa mala. So once you have the japmala, I'll show you how to actually go over this. So first mantra will be the mantra that is kept there. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. I will recite the mantra, you can follow. Okay? That is to be chanted on this Krishna bead. And then Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, you will chant on this bead on it. So every time you finish one time, you will roll it and you capture the next bead. So it's like this. Everyone knows, right? You can see the way you are pulling it towards you. Okay? The first one is your prayer that I will recite, and the second one would be Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So next 10 minutes. This is very important. Mantra meditation is very important. And this has got so many benefits. I think we should take a separate class. Maybe I'll talk about it a little more during our next class as to why Maha Mantra is so important. And why is it called Maha Mantra, right? Prabhuji, window band kar sakte hain? Everyone is comfortable here, right? Everyone's comfortable. So I want you all to close your. I want you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Are you able to hear me? No? Prabhu? Hare Krishna. Okay. For the next 10 minutes, right? We are going to just immerse ourselves in this mantra. Tell your mind, please close your eyes. Tell your mind that for next 10 minutes, I am only going to chant Lord's name and nothing else. All my office work, all the family work, all the thoughts that that is bombarding you at this moment of time, you will park those thoughts for the next 10 minutes. Whatever thoughts you have, you would say, I will get to you after 10 minutes. For now, 10 minutes, I want to dedicate my time and my presence to this mantra. So close your eyes and repeat after me. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Chant with me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare